Thank you, Helpy Helper. There we go.
How are you doing? Good. I know. Hello.
There you go. All in a day's work.
Yep. A lot. I actually don't. My doctor said if I do this, I'm not going to wait. All right, so I'll do it now. No, sorry. Doing all right.
Good, good. So how often are you over there?
Monday through Saturday. Oh, well, I'm not doing Mondays anymore because Mondays was dead, so it'll be Tuesday through Saturday.
But you're over there Tuesday through Saturday?
Until I get it stabilized.
I'm down to about that much, so I have to come over. Got to come over,
Yeah,
just like haircuts, you know.
I have to. We love. You all right? You start yourself? Good, good. Yeah. I still got 20 pounds to lose though, so. Look out, a while ago. Mr. Kurtz. How are you, brother? Good. Yes, sir. You're doing right. Yes, sir. Doing good. Nice.
All right. It's cold. I got cold water.
I hate to see you leave.
This time.
Well, yeah, I'm happy for you on the new budget.
I'm taking sacrificing. Is. You know.
Oh, yeah, just coming up from the ground up. It is what it is. You'll do well.
You know.
You're gonna do well.
So. Yeah.
Has he appointed anyone else? Mr. Money, has he appointed your replacement?
Is it what?
Replaced you yet?
No, I don't think he's going to replace me. I think.
You think you're a replacement?
There you go.
No, they decided what they're gonna do is, hire a county liaison.
Okay.
It's really hard because our county social, I mean, our district.
Judge, I'm gonna still water.
Here, I brought an extra one. Yeah.
You knew I was coming in.
So no, he's not gonna hire a director per se.
Oh, man,
No, sir,
how are you?
We're good. How's it going? How you doing?
No, I'm gonna be gone next week.
Who?
But
You want to battle?
but then there's been time, like. Hold on, Mr. Chair.
I know.
Then I'll be, after that. You'll be done before.
I brought cigars to the past license. Wait, did I say that out loud? Oops.
Cigars. All right, we will begin our workshop. It is 9:04. And our first, everyone silence their cell phone. Did you got the cell phones in? You ready?
I'm gonna stick me a peanut.
Here you go. All right, our first up is Tommy with Veterans Affairs and Budget Workshop. You want to go over what your budget request is for fiscal year 27?
I would like to try to bring on 2 full-time VSOs, myself and someone else. And also have an assistant to be able to be there 6 hours every day, Monday through Friday. I think would help being able to do outreach, because right now I'm only seeing about 5% of the veterans here in this county. There's 5,000 plus veterans in this county from 2024. And there's also, how do you look that up? You can Google it, or you can go to, it's called GDX report, and it breaks, you gotta put in Van Zandt County, and it'll tell you how many veterans and how much money comes in from the VA to Van Zandt County veterans. It's about $32 million right now, as of 2024.
Okay. And how is it, and you've also said that you want your salary to go to 75,000 a year, go full-time,
Right,
and you want a full-time deputy,
yes, second,
and you want a secretary.
yes.
Okay, my question to you is this. For 10 years, we've been able to service the veterans with a part-time person with no problems whatsoever. Why is it you're asking us to put in almost $200,000?
I think the outreach will bring in a lot more veterans and bring in more revenue from the VA to the veterans here in Van Zandt County. And they would in turn give their money to us here in Van Zandt County, whether it be, through grocery stores, gas, taxes, all that. I think that's probably about $5 million the first year, extra on top of the 32 million. The 32 million is only for compensation and pension. It doesn't include spousal support, doesn't include education, doesn't include any of that. It only compensation and pension.
Okay, but you haven't answered my question. We have been able to service our veterans. We looked at, and I wasn't here when they first started doing this. They started when they looked at they've had a volunteer Veterans Administration officer for many years. And then I don't know, about 5 or 6 years ago, they made it a part-time position. In that position, from my understanding, the former veteran service officer was able to service the veterans in this county, and I heard no complaints whatsoever.
I'm about 3 weeks behind right now. If a veteran calls me today, it's about 3 weeks out before I can see them. And being there only 24 hours in a week, 26 hours in a week, it's just not enough time to service all the veterans and go out and do outreach and meet other veterans.
Yeah. Mr. Hernandez, do you have a comment?
Yes, sir. Thank you for allowing me to speak real quick. To answer that question, that I think you said you haven't heard anything, but not all veterans will come to court that there's an issue. And so what we don't know is unheard stuff. And I don't work for state representative for money, but I can tell you my time as a district director. I've talked to countless veterans in this county that didn't even know that there was such a BSO position. You talk about countless veterans that didn't know this. And these are people that call in our office with issues with VA claims, things like that. So what are we doing in turn? We're contacting Tommy, who's limited to what he can do because he's a part-time. So yes, we are asking for an increase for the veterans here in this community. But it's not because I'm going to take it back a little bit. I'm against big government, right? But we're talking about an investment into the future of our county. What the veterans that bring, and Tommy just said, how much money they bring into this thing can increase tenfold if we get more claims for veterans, more dependent claims, spouse claims, educational claims. All this will come back into the community because they pay the property, they pay the groceries, they pay their truck, or whatever it is they be based off these claims. So we talk about things that's going to come back into the community. So yes, you may not have heard anything, but I can see that we've had other veterans that in this community. I've heard other people say, hey, we don't have enough help, enough support. And that's why we still have suicide rates are high in East Texas. That's why we have more veterans with mental health issues. So I just wanted to put that out there. I think in support of the budget. Yes, it's a big increase, but there is issues out there. I just want to make you aware of that.
All right, well,
So Judge, can I say something?
please do.
Okay, so we just went warp speed into that. Right, like, so. I couldn't even, I was trying to gather what you were saying. So. If we give you more time, you feel like that there's money available that you can get for our veterans?
Yeah, without a doubt. And one of the things, since I'm accredited, no VSO in this county has ever been accredited. And I'm accredited, I go to all the advanced schools. And I've been gathering a lot of knowledge to be able to help them in ways that other VSOs don't even know how to do it. There's so many things out there that, I went to the annual conference about 3 weeks ago. And probably 300 of the VSOs didn't know there's a special monthly compensation you get for veterans. It depends on how their severity of their disability is, but there's plenty of money to go. I mean, it's 5,000 veterans here. It's 10% of the population here in Van Zandt County.
So I think we probably should have started. I know we, on the court, as we come in here, like during budget workshops, like we are bombarded with, we need this, we need this, we need this. We probably should have started with, we appreciate our veterans.
That's true.
Like, and so we do, and we, I'm sure that we're gonna look at this.
Yes, sir. Introduce yourself.
My name is Phil Smith.
Okay.
Thank you for this opportunity to come on this morning and speak on behalf of our veterans of Van Zandt County. I'm a Navy Vietnam veteran, served 1969 to 1975. My wife and I moved to this county in 2011. In 2019, I was asked to serve as the Public Relations Director at the Veterans Memorial. I served on the Board of Directors for 3.5 years. During that time, I was honored to start a program called Meet Our Veterans, where I interview veterans in our county about their military careers. My website is meetourveterans.com. We also have a Facebook, Meet Our Veterans. I am gracious and honored that David Barber for allowing me to open a monthly column in both the Canton Herald and the Van Zandt News under the column Meet Our Veterans. I am currently serving as chairman for the East Texas Heroes as we prepare for our 6th military show in this county. Our event is set for August the 8th, on first Monday, along with the Henry Lewis Swap Meet and the Hazelwood Car Show. I hope each of you can attend that. While I was PR director of the Veterans Memorial, I was privileged to work with a lot of veterans in this county. One of the recurring themes I heard from our veterans, we do not trust the VA. They do not like the long waiting lines and getting the appointments. They do not like the constant excuses from the Veterans Administration about their requests making routine doctor appointments and why it takes so long. They are filing claims. They are filing appeals and waiting for an answer. They get very frustrated and depressed not receiving their well-deserved disability compensation. Over and over, they are denied benefits rightly due them after honorably serving their country. They were not asked to pick up a rifle. They were told to pick up a rifle, and they picked it up. Many of them gave up the ultimate sacrifice to this country. They are our neighbors here in this county, suffering with their hidden wounds, scars, and artificial limbs from the horrors of combat duty. Tommy Ford understands sacrifice. He served honorably in Iraq. He ran over 100 missions, kicking in doors, going after high-value targets. He put his life on the line for you and for me every day. Tommy suffers from TBI and PTS. He has the battle scars. He talks the talk with our local veterans. He takes that drive and that passion, and now he lives it day to day in this county, wanting so desperately to help our local veterans. We as a nation owe our veterans a tremendous amount of gratitude for their sacrifices. Please take a stand. Do not abandon our veterans who need our help. In many cases, the VA does not inform the veterans what is entitled to them for their injuries and their trauma while serving in the military branches. In our past, we have had a veteran service officer in our county serving part-time. I have worked with them very closely. This past year, a new veteran service officer was hired. When Tommy Ford started, he and I had a long talk about the needs in our county and how we can best serve our veterans. In the early months, few veterans show up to talk to Tommy. 1 year later, veterans are lined up to sit down and talk with our new VSO. Waiting times are now 3 months out. That wait time is inexcusable. Tommy started a weekly breakfast for our veterans at local businesses. There has been a tremendous uptick for our vets attending those breakfasts. Tommy, with the help of our district attorney, Tom Curry, pays for 20 veterans to gather for lunch at one of our local restaurants. I like that she got outside the box to help our veterans. That has been tremendously successful. Veterans are showing up for these events like I've never seen in this county in the last 10 years. They do not trust the VA to help them. They do trust our current VSO. Tommy Ford is making a huge impact for our veterans in this county. When you hear the stories about how Tommy helped them receive benefits, going from 10% to 60 to 80% compensation from the VA, that makes me proud. Our veterans have sacrificed and paid a tremendous price serving this country. Tommy Ford is making a difference for our veterans. He cannot continue this path, working 24 hours or 25 hours a week. Our veterans deserve better. Please do not abandon them. They need our help now more than ever. They need a strong VSO like Tommy Ford to guide them through this relentless red tape they deal with every day with the VA. I have written extensively on post-traumatic stress in our combat and non-combat veterans. There's a 6-part series I wrote on our website on PTS. The suicide rate for our veterans in this county is 22 a day. I've been told that rate could be as high as 44 a day in East Texas. I hate that statistic. This county, along with many in this state, have a veteran mental health issue crisis. I, along with veterans in this county, are tired of attending funerals for our brothers and sisters who have taken their lives. They get so deep in this valley of depression, their only way out is to mask that pain. They turn to alcohol, drugs. In the VA's case, I had a veteran who was being prescribed 17 drugs by the VA. They do not trust the VA, but I can assure you they do trust Tommy and what he's doing as their VSA officer in this county. Tommy has spent money out of his own pocket to attend the many seminars put on through the Texas Veterans Commission. Tommy cares. He makes it a high priority to attend these meetings to keep up with the constantly changing landscape of the VA. He keeps up with current and new laws affecting our veterans. Bottom line, Tommy does care. Our veterans, their families, and our survivors of those families, they deserve better. I come here asking today, and I plead with you, please support our veterans in this county. We desperately need quality VSOs to assist our veterans. Tommy Ford will continue to give this county 110% of his effort, his time, and his devotion to serving our over 5,000 veterans in this county. I was a businessman for over 40 years. I understand budgets. You don't have an easy job to go through. Please do not abandon our veterans in this county. Take a stand. Let them know we support our veterans of Van Zandt County. God bless you with your decision. God bless this county, this country, and God bless our veterans. Thank you very much.
Well, first I want to assure you, we have no intention of abandoning our veterans in this county. So, is there anybody else that wants to get up and make a presentation? Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. My name is Dr. Gail Bowen, and I'm with Abigail International Missions. I want to bring a more personal perspective to what's going on. 15 years ago, I came into this area. We bought a farm. My dad is a Marine, a World War II veteran, and I really didn't know anything about the VA. I certainly didn't know anything about a veteran service officer. My dad always said, let the other veterans who need it more do that. So I have started this farm, and I realized that when I met my first veteran on the street at the post office, he was a little man trying to live on $600 a month. He had served honorably in both World War II and the Korean conflict. He did not know that where he was staying in this county, they could not just evict him. There are laws protecting him. He did not know that. He did not know. He knew about the VA, but he didn't know about the VSO or anything like that. I didn't know, so when I tried to help him, the first thing I did was take him to my farm and gave him a place to stay, him and his little service dog. It was then that I began to look around. The VSO in this county, I tried to contact him one time. And I didn't try to go back again. I found there are compassionate people who really want help in another county. I would put these veterans that I was finding and take them to Cherokee County, because there was one VSO that was giving, like Tommy does. He's full-time, the judge is very supportive over there and said, serve them wherever they're from, we don't care if they're in our county or not. So I just wanted to let you know that that's been my experience. So I want you to know that there's some things going on that that Tommy has been instrumental. This is the first time I've seen veterans come out and come to the dinners. And Judge, you were there yourself at my place and you saw the fourplex. It's a humble beginning. It's what my dad and I could pay for out of our own pensions to help these men and women who were not being served. And we have done this, like I said, for 15 years. We are a faith-based 501c3 and we are growing. I took on 7 acres. That's gonna be called Paradise. I just placed my first vet in the vehicle there to give him a home. And we just took over this property on the old nursing home on College Street. 55 beds is what I understand. We are free and clear. Abigail International Missions is the owner. We are currently out there, veterans. One of them who used to be at my center at Goshen Farm, he was out there helping me each and every day to clean that up. And that's an example of a person who was broken, who went through the program, who is now contributing as a citizen. He's married with a family and he's here. Okay, that's the type of thing that we want. We want to reach our veterans. We want to bring them in and help them become successful. Many of them are floating around out there. They don't know 3 words I want to take. They don't have the knowledge that those things are there. They're suffering in silence. And some of them, as we already said, they're taking their lives. They don't have access. That's where the VSOs come in. So I was driving them to Dallas, wherever I could get them help. And now Tommy's here. I'm very much in support of being able to take our veterans to Tommy. And if you have 2 people, that's even better, because we are going to grow very quickly when people find out that we have a facility where they can go and get all of their needs met, A to Z, transportation, going to the VA. They come to Dukes. I would like to have them come over to College Street and pick them up. Jobs, we've had people come to us and say, we want to hire your veterans. We have a place that we have contracts with county businesses. We clean their offices after hours. They hired 3 of our veterans. So what we'd like is to identify these people, to bring them in whatever circumstances, and to help them. And I'm asking you if you would please consider Tommy going full-time, an extra person, and someone who can take the burden of all of that paperwork that's gonna happen. And then we can all work together. So far, I haven't asked anybody for 1 dime. We've done everything we've done by God's supply and with our own finances. We want to partner with both the city and the county to help veterans. And I'm asking you to please consider that budget. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Kelly. Beth?
And you said it's Goshen Farms?
Yes, sir. That is a working farm.
So your precinct.
She came into my office several months ago.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Hello, sirs. My name is Jeffrey Long. I was in Iraq from 05 to January of 07. I was one of those individuals that I keep hearing about. I lived in the Tucson, VA for about 2 years, mental health. I was on the verge of suicide, 13 different medications. It's been a long road. I moved to Willis Point about 5 years ago, and I've had quite a bit of mental health issues, internal. Most of the time, we're just going out to the grocery store. But when I see a veteran, sometimes with the cap or stuff like that on, I feel a little bit more comfortable. Hanging around individuals like Tommy, Mr. Phil, I've been able to get back in the community. I have, my wife is pregnant, so I got 4 kids. I never loved myself as much as I do now. Simply said, Miss Gill, I stayed at her place, for about 4 or 5 months. I got to help out with the farm. And I am the individual she was talking about, that helps out quite some. There's others that do more, but I got scratches left and right over now from bugs and trees. I love playing with dirt. I do that with Mr. Phillips' place and at Tommy's place to get away from my own mind, my own demise. And I've asked the VA multiple times for someone that is not from the Middle East, not from Asia, for a mental health counselor, and someone that is physical versus online, watching the screen. That has not happened yet since I've been here in Texas. My mental health strategies is these individuals in this room and other veterans that I find at this point. And I humbly ask to support Tommy in this venture in this, and go full time. Because I personally know a few other veterans in this county that need it. I have a cousin-in-law that is a lot worse than I ever thought about. You ever heard of Moab, the biggest bomb we have? It's not nuclear. He was on the other side of the canyon. When that went off in Afghanistan, he is not riding anymore. He was infantry. That's just one individual that I had to send my family. And I know others. That's, I guess, I'll leave it with that. Thanks.
Thanks, Jeffrey. We have 5 minutes.
My name's Joshua Coates. I'm from Zandt County, born and raised here. And I was in the Marine Corps in 2001, 2005. And served in the second battle of Fallujah. And came home about 2 years after that and buried one of my friends, Jimmy Malone, Mills Point. All these years, no one's ever known about a VSO in this county. I didn't find out about a VSO until about 2022. I had some issues with my PTSD and I got some help outside of the county. And I was dealing with VSO in Cherokee County. And that's when I found out about the VSOs. And I came here, and I believe Harry was the name, that was the VSO at the time. And he wasn't able to provide much help for me. Like Tommy said, he wasn't accredited, and he was there just kind of filling a spot, a warm body in a seat. And then I started doing some stuff on my own, and then met Tommy, and with the help of Tommy, I've been able to get my disability where it needs to be, and my healthcare needs and everything. And that's the problem with a lot of these counties, these VSOs are warm bodies and chairs. And a lot of them aren't accredited. They don't know how to, they can't pull your records for military service. They don't know how to navigate the waters in order to get the medical care and compensation for the veterans that they need. A lot of them don't want to put the time in. They're just there to collect a check, and that's all they're doing. And it's, you know, it's more of a harm to the county than it is a benefit, because they're causing issues with the trust of veterans with the county and with what's being said and done for them. So.
All right, thank you, Joshua. So,
You know, my first few months I was in office, I had a veteran call me and he was trying to get his medical records from Vietnam. He couldn't get them released. Now, they couldn't find some of his injuries that he had there. He could prove that he had them in Vietnam. And I don't know why he called me, other than there was nobody else to call. And so I started calling government offices, and it took a while to find somebody to be able to help him. And I think it was Lance Gooden's office had somebody dedicated to veterans, and it took them about 5 minutes. And I'll never forget the phone call I got after he had a breakthrough where he could get those records. A man that's probably in his 70s crying on the phone. So I know that you guys need, I'm just telling you, I feel what you're saying too. So,
And my thought is that it's not so much an investment in the future, but it's a debt owed to the past. This is, I was a part of the crew that chose Tommy, felt like he was going to be the best for the position because he did indicate his interest in further education. And you could tell that there was already a connection with his history. And I can't help but think that we would reduce the amount of money, we could reduce the amount of money that we spend on mental health here in the county if we can get to them before they break. It's not an issue of being reactionary. It's an issue of getting out ahead of potential problems and slowing those down, being able to intervene before something gets so bad that it has to break. And, I personally don't see any downside, except that other departments in the county will have to reduce their budget a little in order to increase the budget in the veteran services. And so my question is that would you be open to a more graduated approach to this rather than two individuals at the salary rates that you have indicated? If we can start with, if I can get the rest of the folks on the commissioner's court to agree that we can start with you this year and the part-time person to help answer the phones, and not include the second person yet this year, but bring you in full time so that you're not donating a bunch of your time, because I know that you're not just working 20 or 24 hours a week. I know that you spend a lot more time than that in this. So that's my ask to you, is that, are these your hard numbers here, or is there some room for negotiation on this?
I think there's always room for negotiation, but I think, in my opinion, having two full-time going out there doing outreach, we could have
Sure.
a lot more.
I mean, if we had six, that would be even better, but I mean, we do have some limitations. And we can grow toward it. Each department in the county, not all of them, but a lot of the departments, some of the departments in the county are asking for additional personnel this next year. And one of the things that Commissioners Court has to really struggle with is, where do we use the limited resources? Because me personally, I don't want to raise the tax rate on the people that are here. So if I don't want to raise the tax rate on the people that are here, how do I use the allocated funds that we do collect? What's the best way? Because we already know that everything's going up. I mean, each one of us deals with that in our life. But I do believe that that the ask for a full-time VSO is not unreasonable, because I do see it as a debt that perhaps up till now hasn't been given the full interest on the principal that you guys have paid. But that's my own opinion. But I do see it not as an investment, but as a debt.
Can you explain what the certification process requires?
To talk about the accredited, I guess.
Yes.
So you have to go through 11 different courses, 11 different things to get the VA to accept you. You got to go through a lot of security, because it's the federal government that we're dealing with. I can look at anybody's record. Before I couldn't do it, but now I can go on the computer and look at their service record. I can look at their medical record and see things that they don't remember ever happening to them while they're in the military. It was 15 years ago or 20 years ago. Vietnam veteran, it's a long time ago. I can look at all the records. That's my, kind of my answer.
And what does it take to get that accreditation?
So 11 classes, and then you gotta get through the VA system, then you gotta get through the Texas Veterans Commission system. And then you get your PIV card, which you put into the computer, and then I can start looking at everybody's records. So it's constant, and I probably get 14 emails a day of new laws or new things that were signed into law for veterans. And I do that every day, look at it and do research to make sure I can help the veteran no matter what it is. Because, I can put in secondary things to them. If they hurt their knee, I can put secondary their hip or their back or whatever they're having issues with. And that's just the research and going to all these classes to be able to get into the records to the VA.
You mentioned Cherokee County, I guess they're doing it the way that we want to do it, or the way.
Not necessarily, that's just where I got.
Yeah, I think three of y'all actually mentioned Cherokee County. Are they kind of a footprint of what we want to become? And is there any surrounding counties that are that are doing what y'all are proposing to?
If I can speak to that, I went to the surrounding counties trying to find someone. The VSO in Cherokee, located in Russ there, he has access like Tommy was talking about, and that was extremely valuable because he could go right into veterans records and see, okay, we submitted this is where we are in the process. And it's very discouraging for the veterans to not know. And then they get this denial letter and they don't really know how to read some of that. But Andrew was trained, just like Tommy's talking about here, and very valuable.
Like I was saying, I got pointed towards Cherokee County, but we have veterans in this room that are from other counties that have been pointed to Tommy.
Right.
So you can see the problems.
Yeah, so that's why I was getting at. Cherokee County seems like they have it kind of not figured out, but a system.
They just got pushed.
Yeah, and that's why I was supposed to get it. This is not just a Van Zandt County issue. This is a statewide issue. Okay.
So basically, Commissioner Judge, if you take Tommy's proposal and you meet us 50-50, and you stand us up, you see the way Tommy does veterans around here, you're gonna put Van Zandt County on the map for the VSL program. We're not asking for the whole full return, $200,000. We're just asking you to put his salary in there, to put the veterans that need the help that come to him, where he has the access to put them in the records, the access to give them help.
We should be the ones that make the standard for what needs to be done.
Well, I feel kind of like Cliff did. He said it a lot better than I can. A gradual approach, because I don't know with everything going on that we can do this, but I think that we can get on the right track.
But what Cliff said was spot on.
I mean, right, Rome wasn't built in a day, and we gotta.
Well, you're talking about the path forward, and he's
Yes.
talking about the debt owed. So like, I mean, and I think we all, if we.
I think we have to do better, but
Well,
it's
I
got to
had
be a gradual path to get better. Not.
I had a young man that grew up at my feet as a child, going to the Marines and go to Afghanistan, and he came back a different person. And anyways, we can do something surely.
Okay.
We do appreciate y'all opening our minds up to this, because we
wouldn't have
I wouldn't
done.
have a clue.
Yeah, we wouldn't have known.
All right.
I know the trouble that Mr. Weeks was having trying to just get his records. Just the frustration level of just trying to get his records. Just seemed like a simple thing to me, but it's not, is it? No, obviously not.
Again, it is the federal government, it's not gonna be a simple process, right? That's why they have to go to legislators to give them national health.
And I don't know how many people know about your ministry that you have, like, I think that needs to be. I'm so thankful to hear you have come in here this morning, what you're doing, and, you know.
We're here to serve our residents too.
Well, and I think that there is a lot of people in this county that are patriotic. They know, you know, they have family they've lost or have paid great prices, and I think there are a lot of people that'll give to a good cause if they know where it's at. So. Yes, sir.
If I may add to comments earlier, I might also remember the VFW group in town, there is a resource officer that openly appoints an individual to the VAB, another VFW, or a position like Tommy. On a national level, I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about this, but don't remember. The VFW, they were trying to push away from the VSO side. It's not so many veterans doing I guess the 501c3 from their paperwork versus a government agency doing it. I trust government agency a lot more than I do 501c3 when it comes to my social security number and doing this constantly. Other than say Miss Gill's 501c, certain 501c3s that I get it. When it comes to my experience in Arizona, I did the DAV, Civil American Veterans, they helped a little bit, but the state helped, the county concept helped a lot more than any other 501c3. So in my opinion, the state government talking to federal government's a lot better. And people try to use attorneys and lawyers and stuff, but that's going to take about 30% at minimum. Whereas Tommy's, I guess you guys pay Tommy for that situation, so it's a lot, like you were saying, I guess the concept of debt being the other bad thing versus us going into debt. And I guess I just something else thinking about.
So do you feel like with what you were saying, you know, the big agency, you're not as connected, not getting them as help, whereas with the county, it's more unified and you feel more I don't know the word, but
Personal.
Yeah, personal.
Say these, yes.
You're not just a person out there, you know, they're trying to help. Here, you actually mean something, or you feel like you mean, you know.
Right. The DAV and the DFW, and some of the attorneys, they're ex-military and things of that nature, but they don't have. They don't have the insight, I think, that they can look at a computer, but can't give them the information that Tommy can. And things of that nature that it is dived off. The VFW not supporting that as much as when I went to a state convention last year, I believe it was. And they were building the goals. I was interested in becoming the VFW to push people over to Tommy to kind of get an idea. Because when I was in Arizona, I learned a little bit about military mental health, first aid concepts, and kind of where to go off from that. And the individual needs to go see a doctor right then, or mental health, or go see Tommy. And if they're going to go out and strike a dog or punch a tree or get bad. I've been there. I've met him for a few times for the trees. It's my own personal experiences. And I'm quite sure other individuals in here say the same thing. Thank you.
Should appreciate it.
I'm a local business owner. We deal with retired youth, but on health care and only deal with a very small part of the PA system. Like Tom said, Reddit, you can look up their information and get it to us, or get into the vet and help them process their request a lot quicker. When you're talking about a week or two versus months and months, and a lot of times vets will give up and just not receive their benefits because the process is so takes so long. A lot of times they're months and months we time that they requested versus the time that they get a denial or they get a letter saying that they have 5 or 6 things to satisfy the request. So it's definitely having a accredited field in your county would definitely speed up the process, of a lot of vets to get access to, benefits that they serve.
I appreciate y'all coming today.
Yeah, thank you very much. All right, anything else, Tommy?
Nope.
All right.
Y'all not gonna stay for the rest of the budget workshop?
I'll have to take you up on that next.
I always say I'm gonna pray about it and I'll let you know tomorrow.
Private.
Thank you. Hey,
Thank you very much.
Good. Wait, Tommy.
Keep going.
Yes, sir. I'm good. All right, take a 15-minute break and we'll come back at 10 o'clock for DPS. Hey, Honda? Don,
Yes.
are you available now?
I'm sorry?
Are you available now? Are you available?
I don't want to stuff with me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
We got it.
Great.
Yes,
Oh.
yeah, our next one's not until 10 o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Very thick, right? Let me out, let me out. Right.
If I could sort it today, we can get some allergy stuff. Good today. And that's not like I'm usually back on bed that early, I love it for you, you know. I got it up to 5:30, I should go pray. I'm sitting there, I'm with the yeah. It's hot now, so, yeah.
Yeah, he was part of this. Disabled dance and.
It's good. From having no. The office actually. And he helped us. Because I went from being up. But a lot of people don't know Japan, you know, the thousands of militaries and all of that. It's, you know, a lady that was there, she got me in conflict. Was that all the stuff she was nursing. This is what she was gonna do with it.
Well,
Yeah. I remember the A possible. The deal for it, how long and. Yeah. My mom, either was volunteering or to son. It was. I don't. It. That's just. No, I'm sorry, I didn't. Very great, how are you? Everybody's good. Everybody's good. Said my main husband. No. People fishing. No. It's not, it's cool, it's very glad it's you.
I looked at it, there's nothing.
So he called me later, probably takes him, he goes, hey, when he's getting the total section. Solid.
We don't do that. Now, we figured out moments of we for now.
Watch it, let's say.
No, it's probably not there.
It's okay. Is that Randy?
how are y'all? Man, I have to give me some new brake pads. I see so many of y'all right now. I went to Houston 2 weeks ago and I was coming back and I think I counted 10 DPS officers from Houston to Buffalo.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world?
Sent one last week over there.
Yeah, I talked to Ben. He said he was going to course to Canada because of you already patrol for people.
He's going today to Arlington to the drone stuff for the matches, so.
Yeah.
We're busy.
Well, no, it's good. As long as you don't be caught speeding. You ain't worried about the speeders, y'all worry about the speeders.
Yeah, we're trying to slow down, look at other stuff too.
Well, I made it safely home. I didn't get the ticket. I was proud of myself.
Well,
Jones was.
normally safely means other things other than I didn't get ticked.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. How do other people feel about it? Making it home safely, it just means I didn't get caught.
Yeah, I didn't get caught.
Well,
Well, good so far.
It's one day.
How about you?
I just got my truck.
Yeah, I feel that way. Maybe I've got a headache this morning, but it's because I didn't drink hardly any coffee. Trying to wean myself off of it. It's hard to drink coffee in the afternoon when it's 100 degrees. But I need it, like at 2 o'clock, I need some coffee.
It's up to space. It's good name. So I knew. He didn't know who I was. Goes over to
Just leave that, little bomb. The judge has a love seat, a little couch in his office. I'm thinking about putting one in mine.
I don't have any besides. I'm sorry, I didn't know I was gonna say that stuff.
Yeah. I need 10 minutes in the afternoon, because I mean, I get up at 5:20 in the morning, and I don't normally go to bed to sleep till after 11. So at some point in the middle of the day, like I have to shut my, like sometimes I'll just sit down in my truck or sit down for a minute and shut my eyes, because like you just need that regeneration,
I believe a lot of us.
Yes.
Well, you can just imagine how frustrated the person could get dealing with government agencies that are already strapped, and then you're having a mental health crisis and you're getting into red tape. When a person kind of gives up hope, like that's a dangerous situation. And so, having a guy on point out there that they can come.
The only thing they do that the other judges,
I don't know
is
with
the
the,
judges' letters.
I don't know what all we can do this year.
Because and it has all 4 judges on there with what they need to do. That's the only thing we get.
I'll be willing to give up some to get there.
There may be some things where we have to.
Because you-
For it. So
I can tell you that
him because
constituents
we write down.
recently-
And if he's not there, then but
Not no, sorry.
that's really the only thing that's.
We put up there
different
roads, veterans,
between
and there's no,
To any of the other subjects.
that's not a choice. I'll drive on rough roads.
We'll tell them to find the ticket they got. And it's on.
It's difficult. There's lots of needs in our county. I don't think there's anybody that's not over
That
challenged.
sounds about right.
Yeah,
We're like the Dallas Cowboys when they
Right.
feel
yeah.
we're over challenged. Gotta do the best we can do. I'm trying, I've got on my budget to run lean, just lean it down.
No, I'm not surprised. They either,
Put more money in material,
you know,
so I can do
it is
this.
what it is, incorrect.
And when you lean it
And
down,
if we get it, and if I give you the tap, whatever.
and all you'd have to have is one storm.
If you want to, whatever.
It's like, I could run a real lean crew. But then if we have a storm, I need everyone of them.
Really?
Yeah,
that's the
thing. You can't.
I think I should.
So it's just really difficult, like, I'm running a crew of 6 guys, 5 or 6 guys right now. 570 miles.
No, if it gets to that.
570 miles a kid.
Yeah.
That we have to-
Like a cigarette.
Oh.
No.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you ain't doing that
Yeah.
today. So
Yeah.
I got guys doing that.
We got 7.
It's just difficult. It's that season of the year where you're like really stretched out.
Oh, I know.
And then you could have one storm, you know, like I guess 2 years ago. And you can't run a little crew then, you have to have everybody, all hands on deck, so. I don't know. It's what it is. At the end of the day, I know I've done everything I do. You do everything you can do. And you still think it's cussing. Yeah, that's right. So you're gonna get some of this.
We talked about yesterday, this is the guy, places how much we are.
Well, I had a guy call me and I'm like, well, I'm over here. I'll be here for a week. I'm gonna hear.
I mean, really, that's it.
You come from. Like, I understand. Yeah. But I'm not, he's driving on there every day.
Morning, sir. How are you?
Good, how you doing?
Morning.
Hello, sir. Good morning.
Yeah, I did. I watched the video this
Don't the America, US is not playing in Dallas, are they?
No,
morning.
Is there a game there tonight?
Yeah.
In Dallas?
Yeah. He's going.
Brazil and. Is it,
I've got to be there too.
is it Brazil and?
Don't get me lying.
No, it's
It's Japan
Japan.
and somebody else.
Oh, you won't have any
And
problems.
Well, they're cleaning up your stadium when they're through.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah, that we have no problem with Japan because they're always cleaning up their section.
Yeah, they say it's a ritual.
They-
They recycled too.
Yeah, like
They
they,
have two different
yeah,
bags.
they'll divide it and recycle it. And they said that it's actually pushed other fan bases to start doing the same.
Yeah.
during
Yeah.
peak.
We didn't have any problems with it, so. Very nice.
I think America, I think.
So,
US
except the
plays
Americans,
today
they're not doing it.
Before they're playing.
Yeah.
I don't ever watch soccer, but I've watched every.
I haven't.
They're just over there by the Japanese people.
Very interesting.
Those guys are good.
Oh, yeah.
You gotta be in
We-
great shape. Just run for 90.
We don't want to take away jobs from the cleaner people.
minutes.
So that's,
They won't get it all. They do their section probably.
But I have noticed that soccer players, you can just swing at one of them. And they'll have a cardiac arrest.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
if you just
they're-
do
They
that-
want to get that card so
Yeah,
the
they're
other
the
player
best
gets
actors
penalized.
that you've ever seen in your life, like,
But they always grab their knee.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
They're always grab their knee or their shoe.
They yell.
Yeah.
You hear on TV. Like,
They're very, soccer players are very sensitive. That's what I figured out yesterday. I've been watching. They just get very offended even if it gets close, you know?
I don't know. I'd want the Netherlands and Scotland if I had a liquor store. I'd want the Netherlands and Scotland to come to my town. They probably.
They'll clean you out.
Yeah, an
Oh,
hour.
well,
Suckers are crazy.
they will shut it down.
They were talking about that on the news.
I like to hear those stands, like the
Yeah.
roar, the stands.
Yeah.
Halfway through.
Yeah, they said the city of Boston sold out of beer and was trying to find emergency beer to come in. And
Scotland was there. Scotland told them how.
And I think they had doubled what they normally.
Mhm. Yeah.
Start with, you know.
Isn't that crazy?
good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning,
sir.
Judge. How are you?
We're ready?
Sir?
are you ready?
Am I ready? Hold on, let me get to your. All right. You got Monica.
That's
you wanna
it.
Take care of.
That's it.
And you wanna go add and give us the rationale for. the
So-
Increase.
Yes, sir. First of all, I appreciate y'all letting us come talk to you this morning. I hope that, I'll be brief because as you see, we only have one line item here and it's our administrative assistant there at the office, Monica McCool. Basically, last year I came and talked to y'all and y'all decided to approve a title change for her, which was rightfully so. Given the responsibilities that she does on a daily basis for us. With that title change came a pay increase also. So that I appreciate very much. What I'm trying to do this year is keep her in line with other administrative assistants throughout the county so she doesn't fall back behind. The number up there is a 10% increase from last year's budget.
What,
Again,
what other administrative assistants are in that category?
that I don't know. That would be something you would have probably. The sheriff's office, that's what I would consider her as.
you know,
Okay,
her rate.
well, if I'm not mistaken, she's at the top.
Yes, that is correct, except for a court coordinator.
Yeah, so
That would be the only difference, we have court coordinator
Okay.
that works.
what we looked at yesterday
Yeah.
was that basically was the court coordinator position was the same, not the same title, but the same salary. And I think that's our biggest thing is if we don't ask for it, we can't get it, number one, but number two,
Correct.
if y'all do decide to, hey, we're gonna give salary increases to X position and we didn't ask for one, we don't want her to fall behind.
Yeah.
That's
the main
that.
reason.
Y'all, we want to keep the court coordinator, what is she?
Office
So we want to keep her as a chief, whatever the chief deputies make this coming year.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, that's
That's the, you want to summarize it? Yes, that would be great. So if something is decided for the other ones, I would like her to be included as all, whatever that may, if any, whatever that may, that's y'all's decision. But yes, that is exactly what we're asking for.
This question came up yesterday, has nothing to do with salaries.
Yeah.
So.
While we have you here.
Yeah,
No, absolutely. If you bring it on, we'll answer.
I heard, if it's true, all the tickets that y'all are issuing are going to JP two.
It's not true.
No, sir.
Okay.
We just clarified with Susan, that is not true.
So they're doing it all JP?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely, yeah. Wherever they do the traffic stop is, 99% of the time, that's where that ticket's going. Precinct 4 goes to Judge Shin, Precinct 2, Judge Ashlock, and so forth and so forth. Very simple, very simple.
Now, other precincts may get more tickets because of roadways, the roads that troopers travel, that kind of thing. But no, it's all for.
Okay.
Can you tell me where those guys are traveling and when?
Yeah, so State Highway 198, Precinct 2, all the time.
All the time.
It needs a racetrack.
And yeah, we tried to spread the wealth, obviously, but some roadways are more traveled than others, therefore there's more traffic, there's more liability for crashes, so sometimes we concentrate on certain roads other than others, but we try to spread the wealth.
Are y'all fully staffed?
We are missing one. So last year, just to bring you up to date, we had 6 or 7.
Yes.
And now we have added 3 more. They have already been trained. They're out on their own and they're killing it. They are doing outstanding. We had 2 return from previous employment that used to be here and left. As soon as I got back, they came back and reinstated, reapplied with DPS, and they're back doing excellent.
We got 10 in the county.
We got 10 troopers in the county. We're missing 1. He's detached right now. He's coming from Granbury. They're shorthanded in Granbury, so he's got to stay there until they get a replacement for him. So we are almost full staff. 11 will be full staff. And I think he's going to come in November, Drew. Is that
Yes, sir.
November. So you're going to have 11 black and whites on their own doing the job that we signed up to do. So we try. We absolutely try.
Yeah, one of your troopers said somebody pulled over right out here this morning. I thought they staged that, didn't they?
They had one on 64 just before you get there.
Yeah. They're everywhere. They're doing an outstanding job. I don't know if you have that sheet up there, Judge, that I turned in with it, just to kind of give you a glimpse, but.
No, I don't.
Okay, that's fine. And that's fine. Drew, would you take them through just some rough numbers as far as where we're at versus what we did all of 2025? Just to give you an idea. And the whole idea, y'all, is to, I understand that's a big ask. Just if you can keep her in line with everybody else, that's great. But the more I can keep my troopers out of the office, the more we can do this. And that's that. That's just it. It is tickets, crashes. They can do their jobs. They're not meant to be in the office. They're meant to be on the side of the road enforcing traffic laws day in and day out. And they are. So real quick, if y'all got about 5 minutes, I think they'll like them. Go for it, Drew.
So we have topped all of our numbers from last year already. Whether you look at traffic stops, DWI arrests, criminal arrests, we were already 1,200 more traffic stops now than we were all 12 months of 2025. And that's kind of what we were hoping for when we came and talked to y'all last time. We were hoping to blow it out of the water, and we have. From over 350 criminal arrests, whether that be drugs, alcohol related, anything. The big thing we looked at was the paperwork we turned in was the citations issued to the JPs. That's normally what.
I do have a set.
Yes, sir.
Maybe.
Um,
Put it over.
So at the end of May, when I had to pull all the numbers from the JPs, we were, okay, so JP one, we've already reached the 50% mark of what fines we had gotten to last year. JP two is a little bit higher. So it's 82% of what we've already reached 82% of what we did the year before. 76% of precinct 3 and 58% precinct 4, which averages out right at 65% total.
And that's just halfway.
And that was 5 months. So it's not even halfway.
Beginning of May.
We've
Yeah.
got the rest.
So that is, we will, all the way across the board, we are going to look at increasing everything from traffic stops to arrests to citations. The only thing that was concerning when I was pulling numbers was the only other increase with that is crashes has gone up 9.7%. Normally, when you see an increase of traffic stops, you see a decrease in crashes. The only difference now is the difference in population. You have more people moving here. You have more people traveling through here. You've got neighborhoods in Maybank and everybody drives FM-47 to Interstate 20. So you've got a difference in traffic flow, which is reflected in that, which is also going to keep our troopers out of the office more. But I'm confident in saying if they weren't out doing the job they're doing right now, that 9.7% would have been doubled.
Absolutely.
Our crashes would be higher than they are.
Last year, for 6 months of the year, we were training as well. I told y'all we were about to get brand new troopers. It takes about 6 months to train. We've already completed that. Now they're on their own. So instead of having 2 troopers in one car, now I've got 2 troopers in 2 separate cars, which is going to increase everything. So those are straight from the JP offices. We didn't make those up. He called, did the research on them, said, hey, what have we turned into y'all this year?
Right.
This is my troopers.
They're complaining about how much
I'm
work
sure they are. I'm sure they are. But you can see though that they're doing a great job, and that's only 5 months of the year. We've got the rest of the year to go. So they're doing the job that they signed up to do. I'm very proud of them. So just wanted to kind of give y'all a glimpse of this is what we can do when we're not stuck in the office doing things that our admin can do. And if
the governor doesn't take you away.
Well, the only thing, and that's a good thing, we are not going to the border right now. We're not going anywhere at the Capitol right now. The only thing we're doing is FIFA related stuff, and that's kind of just game day type things. So yes, we're assisting with that. We're doing task forces on I-45. Other than that, that's just the nature of working for the state. They wave a magic wand and say they want troopers, we go. But the majority of us are staying here in this county, and we're working in this county. So everything we're doing goes to Van Zandt County, and it's been really great. It's been really great. So
you could probably get on just about any FM road and write tickets all day, couldn't you?
absolutely, and they do, and they do. I'm telling y'all, I've got some young troopers, and they have no mercy. And it's and it's not being unfair. They're fair and consistent, but right is right, wrong is wrong. And if we don't slow them down, that means we're working more crashes and more people are getting hurt. So they're doing a good job. They're doing excellent.
Do you have a current projected volume or traffic volume on I-20? How many cars per day? Because I know when Joe
I would be guessing
it was 45,000 a day.
Yeah, that would be a tech stop question.
Okay.
I'm sure I can get you that answer.
I'll go.
But yeah,
It's
I
several than that.
don't have it. I haven't heard anything about that lately.
What other
It-
questions
It
do
was
y'all have?
47,000. Well, they actually measure what comes into the county from each direction and what goes out, don't they? So they know what's dropping off in here.
Right.
Yeah, they can. We can.
Are you getting good support from our sheriff's department?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, we got something right electing him sheriff. So I meet with him once a week, if not more, and we have a great working relationship. His agency and my agency are working hand in hand. Yeah, he's got my vote if he's running every time.
We won't tell.
That's okay. Oh, I didn't see him there, Kevin.
What's his name?
You snuck in.
Is there any questions we can?
Yeah,
answer?
seriously.
I know yesterday you brought up, hey, like to know what they do. If you, we can sit here all day and explain what we have, what we do, what we can.
What your primary responsibilities are, like,
Patrolling rural areas, unmunicipality areas of the county. That is our primary focus, whether that turn into crash investigation, routine traffic stop, criminal investigation. That is our primary responsibility. But with that, everything adds. We now have to focus on school visits. They've implemented something for the school districts to start having to do a drill.
Live
scenario when school starts, and it is required that somebody from our department, our office, is there when that drill occurs. So that's something else that we have to do.
House Bill 33, I believe.
So it is one of those things that we are here to try to keep the rural areas of the county safe, but also assist anybody that calls.
it's important for you guys to be at our schools though every now and then.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
That black and white speaks volumes when it's by the school or in the parking lot, or if there's a trooper standing there. Absolutely.
Plus, it just encourages our young people too to look toward y'all as a career field.
Absolutely. We're always
I
recruiting.
know that Jeremy Barker teaching the classes he does in Grand Saline has made some dividends.
Yes, sir.
In the fire department.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm looking at the arrest records, I get the daily report. We have in the last 6 months, I guess, really increased the number of DWI arrests, both sheriff's department and DPS. And that's good that we're getting those people.
Absolutely.
It's one of those numbers that they've always been there.
Right.
But being able to go and have the time and go locating them before they wreck is what has been the biggest change this year.
What else can we answer? Anything?
Is there anything else that you need that doesn't involve money?
No, sir. I can't think of anything.
No. Anything else?
Very good.
Okay.
All right, guys.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Where can I get one of them fancy hats? It'd have to be a big old fat head hat. That's what it had to be.
We got 15 minutes. You want to go ahead while we got this free time?
I could.
All right.
Very good.
You're not asking for anything, are you?
I am.
Bigger office.
Well, yes, I'm here with Pat in hand. I don't have a fancy.
Yes. Agreed.
I need, I really need to get an extra hand in my office. That's becoming really critical. And I'll explain what we required there. But for staff, just a moment, but some of the other things that we're looking at, I'd like to do a little more in our training area. And part of what I'm doing right now, working with my people to kind of steer them in development. Michelle has been working with grants, and we need somebody who's really, I think that's what with grants, somebody who really knows what they're doing. And, she knows the mechanics of it, but I'd like to get her more focused in the greater picture of grants. So, I can give her some ideas of going training in that area, get her development and Lisa is really sharp with cash, managing cash. I'm I'm trying to get her to develop more as a general ledger type accountant. Not that Michelle does the same thing, but, you know, again, I'm looking to get knowledge experts to develop. Nicole is knocking it out of the park with purchasing, and I'd like to steer her more towards, being like what a purchasing person does. You know, those counties that have a purchasing agent, strictly for that, and her role is, you know, she's really good at that. And we seem to be doing a lot of, you know, the RFQs, bidding and everything.
Right,
I think we're pretty busy with that for the next at least a year or so.
that's right.
It's about probably 2 years, and who knows after that. So I'd like to get them, you know, get to a point where, you know, that kind of information is you need any information on that, and we need something about in bad areas. Those are our people to knowledge, what we call knowledge. Okay, as far as an additional person and what we're doing, my department has certain objectives that we have to do. The state wants us out there to make sure that our accounting systems are effective and efficient. To meet those objectives, we need to be out in the field doing some actual audits. Okay, and usually these are regular cash payments. You know, that was something that was in practice before. When the new system came in, we pretty much got tied down with trying to make it work and doing workarounds. And it really, you know, stifled our objective of getting cash, surprise cash counts out in the field. And we've only done like 3 this year. What I want to do is get a person in here that can take over some of the repetitive tasks that each of my staff currently doing. Some of it would be purchase order approval or invoice approvals. You know, all the invoices that come in have to be approved. You know, somebody in my office has to sign off on each individual invoice. And I was talking to Michelle about how many, you know, man, we have an increase in invoices. She was doing an analysis of the last 4 years, you know, 20% or something like that. We also have in some things we want to meet as an accounting department, what I want to do, and that involves what I'd like to get to is moving towards the state has a program where they recognize the county for having certain financial goals. Some of them are goals like postings on the website.
The transparency.
It's a
Financial transparency thing.
It's called the transparency star, so it is. And that also includes development internally of guidelines and policies and procedures. And we're kind of light on that right now. And thank goodness these guys are, you know, they have, my people have routines that they go through, but we don't really have any documentation on that. And we talked the other day, cross training and how critical it would be an issue if someone had actually left your department. They have, you know, someone's scheduled for the surgery coming up. I mean, we'll be out for a couple of weeks, and that to me is like an urgent today, because I have to start cross training on those type of things. You know? But some of the other things as far as our development department overall, and getting to where I want to be, is having one of these recognitions from the state are looking at our traditional financial reports and developing guidelines for reporting, not only externally on the website, but internally. You know, I've done really nothing for you guys this past almost a year. And I think we should have things more transparent for you on a monthly basis at least, maybe not every commissioner's court meeting. Or quarterly even, where our cash balances are for our spending. Our bank balances, where we are, compared to cash in the bank and, projected expenses versus, tax collections that I send them to the bank. There's a little bit of, it doesn't, I mean, our spending doesn't match our revenue postings.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it works. Also.
What I can inject something here?
Yes.
What I would like to see is where we are, but versus actual. On an ongoing basis. For the whole county, because, you know, each department knows what theirs is, but we as commissioners don't have a clue where we are overall for the whole county. That would be something that would be very beneficial to know.
Yeah, right now, we are sitting out, if I send that, the state repositories, which is great, but I see it's not coming to you, that's a good idea. So just to let you know, we're trying to keep up with all those things. And, my ideas for expanding my department, I could please do that.
And where would you put an additional person? That was my question.
That's-
Where would we put these people at?
Oh, that's the point. Lisa's office is a little smaller. I think I'm gonna move into that. And I'll move the new person to where Nicole is, the new Nicole and, Lisa into was my office down in the corner there. It's large enough for two desks.
Right.
You know, we can fit two people in there. And, you know, what I'm asking for this person, it's gonna be an entry level type position. Where they will be learning a lot of the stuff, doing a lot of the repetitive type, work. So that, and I put in the, personal change form. You can see some of the detail in there about investigations, examinations, and that kind of. Some of the regular reporting. And they'll be learning regulations. So that's the biggest thing that my staff does, is to keep everybody.
And the purpose of that is to offload some of the tasks that Michelle, Nicole, and Lisa have in order to get them more proficient in the other. So, because one of the things that I think is critical is this grant management and being able to do it, because we're doing more and more grants.
Right, I need somebody in there who's really an expert. I think we can do a better job with grants. Eventually develop her into a rating, and we get to go out, we can find stuff. I mean, that's the ultimate goal of that. Okay.
Right.
But yeah, I need to offload some of the work that they're doing now, because we're doing the conversion. It's gonna be another year, where we're really tied up with making all the ticking time that goes on with doing the accounting. And simultaneously, I want to get those people out in the field so we can do the cash accounts. We had, the tax office, 10 years ago, we had a little, incident over there with some money went missing. I know it was a while ago, but we don't want to see that ever happen again. And oversight matters. The first thing that happens if something like that occurs, first thing anybody says is, well, where were the auditors? And well, the auditors are right now sitting in their offices trying to get caught up on everything else. So I would, really like to have somebody here take that load off, so we can have people out in the field and do what we need to be with efficiency, like that.
Okay, and you've upped your training to account for that.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah, but bonding up another $50 for if we had another person in there. Miscellaneous, we don't need to change anything like that, but the big thing with training. Training has gone up. And you know how to tell you everything.
All right, any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Scott said he'd be here in a few minutes.
Okay. So I guess we take another 2-minute break or break and then we'll here.
Yeah, he said he's coming from the jail.
Okay, good. I'll be right back.
Do what?
Brandon, is fifty-four up or am I up first? And,
Well, I think Scott's with you.
yeah.
That's-
But I have to present, am I presenting you first budget first and then you presenting Jake's budget? I think.
I think you still both.
He has to be here with me, but I don't know what's going first, is the Jake before budget. Thank you very much.
I'm just here to listen in my seat.
How are you doing? Oh, good.
That's slow.
Hey, this is Mr. Curtis.
This is, oh, nice.
Is this any different than what you submitted?
This is, the first column is what was
Okay, we got it.
at the request of Judge Shin.
Okay.
The second column, the first and second column is what Judge Shin said I should,
Well, okay, it is different, so you can explain it to everybody when they get here.
yes, sir.
Okay.
Too many branch cycles, so we're different from fiscal cycles, that are different from calendar years. I'm over. Period. Period. Just gonna walk. And step outside and run down, not walking for branches.
That's not bad. I was sure.
So that's one of those things you walk into and I'm done, like I'm convinced there's matters all around that. I did also mothballs, so. Scorpions are usually what I get, but then with all the rain, they've been established here. I'm not interested in. That they are, he gets done once and that's it, they're done. You good looking outside, cause I'm never good. Yeah, you should get. Get the comment heads on money, work and all this, it's very complicated, he's disregarded that. Will be.
814. Disregard that. So there's no budget for them?
There will be, and it doesn't go, it's like it was.
It doesn't get listed. I don't understand.
So just zero those out.
Okay, well, I'm looking at a PDF copy. I'm not actually in the actual spreadsheet. You can tell Michelle, I mean, you can tell Nicole to do that.
Okay, I just want to make sure, is it'll be. So the only thing you'll show on your budget is the South.
And approximately 80% of that's also covered by the grant. Mhm.
It'll be put in the county.
Well,
There is no county portion, and there's no county general funds. It's all from dedicated amounts. That's the part that I'm confused on, Michelle.
Yeah.
So that's why I put it.
Okay, well.
And this should not be,
I would prefer that we talk about what we're going to spend for youth diversion, and then we'll use the accounting part of where it goes, like, okay?
Does that, so we need to go in the budget.
Right,
because-
okay, well, we
Yeah.
can fix that, but we need to talk about
That's
what
fine.
we
I
anticipate.
just want to make sure
spending.
because it was in the last year's one, so people probably think that's an issue.
Text me at 10:28, which is 12 minutes ago. I'm at the jail,
Okay.
running behind, be there in a few.
does he have to be here for me to do my part? To start into diversion? I know he's my elected official.
Well, yes,
Okay,
Yeah,
that's all I
it
was
probably
gonna say, I
does.
can keep us on track and get started into it.
well, we got plenty of time because it's just y'all, you and him left
Okay,
to noon,
Okay.
to noon, so
Okay.
only people it's bothering is gonna be the YouTube people that are having, listen to us.
yes, sir. Okay,
Page did hold like 2016 long this ago. Dad passed away. It's also we got No, I was just nice. I had a sister that she passed away in 2016.
We ended up drawing all the.
Yeah.
And there was a whole column that said. And my brother, the whole tree house, so
Even when my dad passed away, a lot of it was done. The little stuff wasn't done. It's been I'll just do a few. Let's keep this thing. That's me. He wants to shoot that. Okay. I'll take a break. Let's get this done.
And hey, Jerry, what's up? What's up, Katie?
Well, let me get Mitch and we'll go ahead and let you run with it.
Okay.
And then,
Jessica's still here?
She is.
all right, so we're gonna go ahead and move ahead. Judge Shin is, middle of administration at the jail. And, until we get here, when he gets here. So, and we'll let, Jennifer move forward with the.
Good morning, gentlemen. I have given you a handout also with a budget spreadsheet that looks a little bit different from this. But as the youth diversion program enters its second full budget cycle, it is important to look at not only what has been accomplished, but also the opportunities that lie ahead. The program completed its first full year with a 91% success rate, demonstrating that early intervention is working in Van Zandt County. While referrals have declined slightly from initial projections, several factors contributed to that trend, including a lapse in funding for a campus vape detection system that significantly reduced tobacco-related referrals from one of the county's largest districts. With the issue addressed, referral activity is expected to more accurately reflect student conduct trends moving forward. In FY27, a renewed emphasis will be placed on education and outreach to schools and partner agencies regarding diversion eligibility, available resources, and emerging juvenile offense trends. These efforts are intended to strengthen referrals and ensure agencies remain informed about diversion opportunities. Collaboration with juvenile probation remains strong through drug, alcohol, and newly instituted nicotine testing, while partnerships with Andrews Center and Project Turnaround continue to provide mental health services for at-risk youth. Community partnerships have also expanded, and one local business recently hired 2 diversion participants for summer employment, demonstrating how diversion can create pathways to workforce development. Looking ahead, development of a countywide teen court program remains a primary objective. FY27 will focus on building partnerships with school CTE programs to lay the foundation for implementation. Teen court will provide an additional evidence-based accountability option while fostering youth leadership, peer accountability, and civic engagement. Professional development has also produced measurable benefits. Participation in a public safety office e-grant workshop contributed to a successful state grant application, resulting in an anticipated fiscal year 27 award of $48,886.49, a 389% increase over last year. This additional funding significantly reduces the county's financial obligation while allowing the program to expand services and invest in future initiatives. In April, I was selected to serve as faculty for the Texas Justice Court Training Center's 26-27 clerk personnel programs, providing Van Zandt County with direct access to statewide resources and professional networks. The program's reputation continues to grow beyond county lines, with courts in El Paso County and Wood County seeking information about Van Zandt County's diversion model. A workshop with the Wood County JPs has already been scheduled for early July. Another significant accomplishment this year has been the ongoing effort to improve the accountability and tracking of JP court cost revenues to ensure the funds are properly receipted, accurately accounted for, and dedicated exclusively to diversion activities as intended by law. While the process has been complex and time-consuming, ongoing collaboration with the county auditor's office, Judge Shin, and I3 Verticals has resulted in progress. The youth diversion program continues to deliver measurable results while leveraging outside funding, community partnerships, and innovative approaches to youth. The FY27 budget has been developed to maintain that momentum while ensuring the program remains efficient, sustainable, and fiscally responsible. Oh, I thought I saw Shin walk in. With that overview in mind, I'd like to briefly walk through the budget changes for FY27. To make the comparisons easier, the worksheet is organized into 3 columns. Current fiscal 26 on the right, although it says 25 at the top, that's a typo, I apologize. The FY27 proposal with a 3% raise, and then the FY 27 proposal, assuming approval of court administrative reclassification on the left. Office, so we'll start below the line, gentlemen. Office supplies has been reduced to remaining inventory due to remaining inventory purchased during fiscal year 26. Postage has been reduced as the program continues transitioning to electronic notifications. Project supplies have a slight decrease due to availability of previously purchased diversion class vouchers. Testing supplies is increased because we are seeing an uptick in alcohol-related charges, so more drug kits are needed for that. Training has increased to support advanced conferences, workshops, and professional development opportunities. Travel has been reduced due to relocation to the courthouse annex JP2 office, resulting in less routine travel between the courts. Miscellaneous includes professional membership dues and subscriptions that are ineligible for reimbursement through state grant funding. And capital expenditure is an addition of a portable printer to support field operations and allow for on-site printing of materials. Judge Reese, would you like me to go into personnel before Judge Shin gets here?
No.
Okay, we'll wait for him. So in summary, the fiscal year 27 budget is supported by nearly $49,000 in anticipated state grant funding and $14,500 in municipal contributions, reducing the county's share of program funding from approximately 64% this year to between 12.5% and 17% in fiscal year 27. Under the proposed budget, the county's estimated contribution would be approximately $9,000 to $13,000, funded entirely through dedicated youth diversion revenues, including local consolidated court costs and youth diversion administrative fees, meaning approximately 83 to 87% of the entire program budget would be funded through dedicated revenues rather than the county general fund. One question that naturally follows this budget request is whether using the dedicated youth diversion funds is sustainable over the long term. To help answer that question, I've included a chart, which is page 2, showing annual local consolidated court cost collections by each justice court, along with the total portion of those revenues dedicated to youth diversion since 2020. The chart shows that dedicated funds are not being spent faster than they are being replenished. The diversion share of local consolidated court cost has increased from $6,100 in 2020 to over $10,000 in 2025, which is a 63% increase over 6 years. Average annual collections are approximately $8,500. During the 5-month period of January 1 through May 31 of this year, revenues totaled $5,241, placing collections on pace to generate almost $10,500, exceeding 2025 collections. Depending on the court's final decision, the FY 27 budget is expected to utilize approximately $3,645 to $7,670 in dedicated LCCC youth diversion revenues. Even at the higher amount, the proposed use remains well within historical collection trends without jeopardizing the fund's long-term sustainability. Thank you for your time. Do y'all have any questions?
So on the grant proceeds of 48,886,
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that and how certain you are that that's going to come through.
I defended the grant at East Texas Council of Governments, and they awarded $18,000. When it was submitted to the state, Stephanie Hefner at COG submitted for the 48,886. And I got an email from our grant administrator, Harley Woody, who said, please adjust your budget that was submitted to the 48,886. This is further than we were last year when they said, maybe you'll get 10K. So everything that I am receiving from the grant administrator, Harley, related to this grant is based on 48,886.49.
And so your anticipation is that down on the first page, the change from fiscal year 26 is 6449 on your, at the higher salary.
Yes, sir.
Is that the portion? What does that 6449 represent?
The 6449 is a change over fiscal year. It should be fiscal year 26, which is the 70,007, which is the current year budget. So it's an increase of $6,400 if the position reclassification goes through. And the total budget is 76,456.
And of the 76,456, how much are you projecting the county's going to be responsible for from that number?
Please clarify the county's responsibility.
How much are you asking for us to pay?
Zero.
That is
Out
not,
of the general fund,
yeah.
zero.
So you're saying that your budget of 76,456 is all covered by either municipalities, grants, or collected fees?
Dedicated collective fees. Yes, sir, I am.
And the 14.5 on the municipality proceeds,
Yes, sir.
is that insured?
Insured, no, sir, because those municipalities have not finalized their budgets. They are also in budget talk. Those are projected fees based on what they are putting into their budgets, and we have to wait for their councils to approve those funds.
Okay, and did they provide similar amounts this past year?
It's the same amount that was provided this year, yes, sir.
Okay.
Did the county provide any? Are there any county monies listed on your municipality line? Because I think we dedicated some, we pushed some funds toward that general municipality fund last year, right? I remember something about that the county had some money that we
So the
diverted.
money that comes from the municipalities is also their portion of local consolidated court costs. So for every
oh, yes.
every conviction on a traffic citation or other citation, the $14 of that is dedicated and is split into 5 dedicated funds. One of those funds, 35.714%, 35.7143%, which is $5 of the 14, is dedicated to youth diversion activities and has been since 2020.
And that's by state law, right?
That's by state law, yes, sir.
So it's unlikely that the municipality portion is going to change. They still have to do either their own program or they have to participate in this program.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's not one of those where they could just say, you know what, we're just not going to do that.
No, sir.
They'd have
Yes,
to come up with their own program. In other words.
state law requires youth diversion, whether they participate in the county program or they create their own.
Yeah.
But they also have dedicated funds at a municipality level under LCCC, just like the JP courts do at the county level.
It could go down if the number of court cases.
I'm sorry, one more time.
It could go down if the volume of court cases decreases.
Which number could go down? I'm sorry, Judge
Your
Reeves.
municipality proceeds.
The
It's
municipal,
based on you said $14 and it's divided up among a certain percentage goes to youth diversion, right?
dedicated by state statute, $5 of every conviction goes into,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So if convictions go down, that's what I'm saying.
Then their collections would go down, yes, sir.
Okay.
So the 5 municipalities, obviously Canton, Van, Wills Point have higher conviction rates. So their LCCC revenue is higher than Edgewood.
Okay.
So all of the municipalities do not participate at the same level. They participate based on available funds that have been collecting in these municipalities, and in these revenues have been collecting since the LCCC change effective January 1st of 2020.
But 14.5 represents what the projections for convictions for this next year only, no prior funds. This is next year's, this is
what the 14.5 is what municipalities are 14.5 is based on the dollar amounts the 5 municipalities have included in their local budgets that will be contributed to the countywide youth diversion program for fiscal year 27.
Yeah.
You have a question?
You said something about
I'm listening. That's good.
Okay.
I3 verticals integration. What does that mean?
I3 Verticals is the program that the 4 JP courts use.
Okay.
The 4 JP courts on we'll just go conviction, and Ben can chime in because he's been working on this also. At the end of every month, the chief clerks print out their end of month reports and they make their reports to the auditor and the treasurer that is then processed. The process of getting the funds, then correctly receipted and tracked into LCC, the 5 LCC buckets, which are jury fund, courthouse security, justice court technology, justice court security, and youth diversion, is then the process of what the auditor and the treasurer do. And they either retain that money locally across all conviction fees, or the money is sent to the state. So we have been working with I3 Verticals, which is who sets up all the GL items within the net data software. Net data and I3 are the same company. And then working with Ben to make sure that those two items line up.
We're looking at how those are. That portion of I3 that she's using is a separate contract from what we're looking at in trying to request for that. Well, the same company, but she got a different agreement with all the JPs. And we're looking at it right now, trying to figure out how that mapping goes as far as who gets what with the Russian funds.
When you say you have a 91% success rate, explain that. How do you arrive at that calculation?
That's the total number of referrals. You subtract the number of kiddos that are ineligible for a myriad of reasons. Then you have the ones that successfully entered diversion, so are therefore eligible to enter into a diversion agreement. Of the number that is entered into the diversion agreement, the ones that successfully complete their diversion strategies is what ends up with the 91% success rate of the overall number of eligible children that youth that entered into diversion agreements in calendar year 25. 91% of them successfully completed.
Pretty high.
Yes, sir, it is.
What's the actual total?
There were 110 eligible referrals into the program. Now, there's a variety of reasons why kids are not eligible. Either they have a pending higher charge with juvenile probation, and then we wrap it up. So that lower charge doesn't need to be handled separately from a higher charge, but that Class C gets referred to me, and the Class B or higher gets referred to juvenile probation. So I work with Christy and Linda, and we wrap that charge up. So that's an ineligible child. They're not eligible for diversion on that charge. There's no point in putting them on both probation through juvenile and diversion, or the district attorney can absolutely deny diversion. She did that in a couple of instances. Here's Judge.
And in conclusion,
Thank you, Judge Shan. Thanks for coming in today.
Yes, sir, you're welcome.
Y'all have a great rest
That's
of
my
your day.
presentation.
Yeah.
This is what they're, and then I did you don't have your glasses with you, do you?
Okay, yes.
And then on the second page is LCCC totals, because that's what we've been working on by JP Court, and then the breakout of just the youth diversion percentage. And the numbers are on the back on the back side of it. So we've talked about everything below on the budget. We've talked about everything below the line, but they asked that I wait on personnel until you get here.
Okay. So are y'all ready for that part now?
sure.
Okay.
Well, actually, one more question. You talked about El Paso and Wood counties.
Yes, sir.
What other counties have actually implemented a diversion program that you communicate with?
Countywide,
Yes.
I am not aware of anyone that has implemented a countywide. I know several have implemented within a municipality or within a single JP office. I know that Hayes County is looking at a countywide program. I know that Wood County, when I go speak with them, are looking at a countywide program, but I have not spoken to anyone. Now, Judge was in judicial training.
Yeah,
And
I haven't even, like, the people are seeing our program and they're calling asking because they're like, hey, we kind of like that. But I haven't had any other counties that have don't
actually implement state law, right? Or I guess.
Well, you have to have a diversion program, but the way you do it is up to the county's choice. I mean, you can do it per court, you can do it per county, you can actually have 4 or 5 counties go together and create one. And so they kind of left that open to how you want to do it. But of course, the benefit of the program is based on, what you have available in the program and how you
Right.
do it,
Right.
I mean, if we just kept doing it court by court, then we would still be doing the same thing we were already doing. We'd see kids coming in that need help and we'd send them out the door with no help. And this program has allowed us to, go beyond just dealing with a little tobacco chart, like
Right.
we've got, Jennifer's worked with, mental health cases and she's got those people involved. She worked with the DA's office, juvenile probation. I mean, it's just a lot. I feel like we're helping some kids that wouldn't have made it. Y'all seen the presentation on the one kid about 6 months ago that went in the military. That kid was crashing. I mean, I had dealt with him in 4 or 5 cases. I mean, he was headed downhill and would have never, I don't think he would have come out of it, but because of our diversion program, I feel like the kid had a shot and he got to go in the military. That's right. And I think that's what it's all about. I mean, it's not about case by case. It's about the fact that we're going to be able to help a few.
So I'll follow up on that. Chris texted me, he left Tuesday. His enlistment date, he shipped out Tuesday, and he was so excited. He passed his top secret clearance for his job. And he said, I went from juvenile probation, facing jail, to top secret clearance. And he said, thank you, Ms. Jim. So, and that's what it's about. We are changing lives. We are absolutely changing lives through this program.
Okay, you're up on.
Okay, so on the I guess we're talking about the salary part. Okay, so I had to originally I turned the budget in before we had time to have a meeting. And within the next week we had a meeting, and so what the youth diversion board is recommending is if of course, because I'm in there and I knew that we were asking for the JP clerks to move to, instead of being called JP clerks, to be court administrators. Court administrators. And so we were asking for those salaries to raise to that title, not the old JP clerk salary. So what the board said is if the court does that, we would like to ask for the youth diversion coordinator to stay at the same rate with them. But if the court does not do that, then we're just asking for whatever raise the county employees get. So y'all kind of understand that. We kind of we feel like that, like everybody in the county, everybody's underpaid. We all know that. And so, but we did feel like if that was granted, then we wanted the diversion coordinator to go to that level. But if that's not granted in the JP court, then we're recommending just a normal raise that y'all would give all the employees.
Okay.
And so, there's plenty of justification for this position to make a lot more money than that. We know that. And I'm not going to turn Jennifer loose, because she could probably give you county after county after county of what these type of positions make. We know the position you guys are in too. And so we're trying not to over ask, but that's a recommendation from the youth diversion board. Okay.
Any questions?
What's the biggest fail for those kids? Like, what do you see the most of?
Either a failed drug test, because maybe they got popped for THC. So rather than going back to a THC, they fail on an alcohol level, or they reoffend. So I've learned over time how to rescreen and make it clear that they can't reoffend. They absolutely can at any level, in any county that touches us. And so they understand that. So intake on these kiddos is about 45 minutes to an hour with each one, so that they fully understand. And that, like Judge said, I'm able to assess. It's not just a nicotine charge. It's not just a THC vape. There's other things that are going on. There's counseling, there's guardian issues, there's CPS involvement, there's mental health issues, and we need to address all of those things systemically for both the child and the family if we're going to have a successful diversion and keep them out of the juvenile justice pipeline. So.
And that's what the courts don't have time to do. I mean,
I've been seeing this for 20 years. You know, I've been seeing, it's not just a tobacco charge. It's not just an alcohol charge. It's family problems. I mean, it's mental health. It's that stuff, but the court don't have time to dig into it. I mean, you know that in your court. I mean, they come in, you assess the punishment, you take a fine, you whatever, and they leave, and you know that there's something wrong, you know, and you can't help them. And so that's why I was so passionate about this program, because I've watched for 20 years these kids come in and not get help. And so
So in in precinct 4, in JP 4, she's doing the work of a chief clerk or chief administrator and doing all the, okay.
Not anymore. So when she first started as a diversion coordinator, she was still my part-time JP clerk.
Right.
Okay. Tina is my chief
Full-time
clerk. Yes. But whenever she moved to this position, I hired another part-time. So now Jennifer just works as diversion coordinator, but that is for all the courts in the county. And she was housed in JP4, but I guess 4 months ago, she moved to JP2 because it's more central. She realized that it was just too hard for everybody to go
traveling to each court.
Yeah.
And trying to work around their court schedules was becoming difficult. By moving into an office that Judge Ashlock made available, centrally located, the kids can come to me, and the only schedule I have to work around is my availability in that office.
So each JP court hears their own cases and refers to.
No, sir.
Let me see how that works. Okay, so yes, that could be the way it's set up. The way we set it up is the cases are filed with the diversion coordinator. Okay, so a case from anywhere in the county that comes in on a juvenile, they're filed with the diversion coordinator, and then she takes that case, sets up a meeting with the parent and the child. Well, first she sees that they're qualified, because you're only qualified if you hadn't had one in the last 12 months. You're under 17, and it's a case that qualifies. Okay, so by having one coordinator, we know if that kid qualifies. If we had 9 different diversion programs in this county, I wouldn't know what JP3 was doing. I wouldn't know what, Wills Point Municipal was doing. So they actually file it with the coordinator, and then the coordinator then brings them in, does the diversion. And if they're diverted, they never get filed in the court.
Okay.
They never file. But if they either fail the diversion or they refuse, they don't have to do diversion, then she sends it to the proper court. And so this is the way we can make sure that we're not having kids taking diversion in 4
From
different
several
courts.
different, yeah.
Right. I didn't realize until I become the Van municipal judge that I'm seeing the same kids in Van that I was seeing in precinct 4. I didn't know they had 3 charges in Van when they come see me.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, and so
Because juvenile records can't be shared. So if I'm a single point of contact, then I know what all of those municipalities and what all of those JPs are doing. So that eliminates the feral nature of our children who get in trouble in one school district and move to another school district to avoid that record from going with them. So if you get in trouble in Van and I have you in the system, but yet you've moved now to Fruitvale or Edgewood, and I already have a history on you, you can't hide from that when you come into diversion because I'm already aware of it.
I'll keep that in mind.
Yes. That's right.
You had 110 last year?
110 eligible referrals, and 91% of those were successful. Yes, sir. My current caseload, I am currently carrying 32 open cases right now. I'm monitoring.
And how long does the case last?
Anywhere from 90 days to 180 days, depending on the offense. I have a tier or punishment schedule based on the offense. At the point that potentially there is a child who has either failed or I call in a non-adversarial hearing, there is something else going on with that kiddo, and I am able to put them in front of the judge of the court of original jurisdiction. And so I can bring them in. The judges then can extend it for an additional 180 days. And I've had a couple of youth that fall into that category. So they went from an original 6-month diversion period, and it was extended for an additional 6 months by the judge for a total of 1 year. That's the maximum you're allowed to be on diversion. A coordinator can only set it at 6 months. The judge is the only person who can extend it.
But probably most cases are 90 days, right?
unless it's a possession of drug paraphernalia,
I know,
then
I'm
it's
talking about-
180.
Yeah, but
So
most of the ones.
most of them are 90 days. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And it's more than just nicotine. So nicotine, possession of drug paraphernalia, disorderly conduct. I've had minor possession and consumption of alcohol. I've had trespass by projectile that was filed by game warden, excuse me. That was a kiddo that was hunting and shot his neighbor's barn. And so that's an eligible offense. I see everything that is non-traffic related for kiddos between the ages of 10 and 16. And they're getting younger and younger, gentlemen. They are. They are getting younger and younger with smoke shops. 12-year-olds.
So he could hit the broadside of a barn.
He did.
Probably missed what he was shooting at, but yeah.
Yes, and hit the outside of the barn.
It's gotta come down somewhere.
So
Got to.
kids doing donuts, vandalism. They do donuts and they take out a window. You know, those types of things also fall into diversion.
Were they shooting at bunkers and cardboard?
Don't even answer that. Don't even answer that. We're gonna stay out of that one.
Oh, I didn't know that in there.
It's all good. I think it's funny.
Now, yeah.
Call the game warden.
Anything else?
Sheriff, in here?
I'll let y'all question.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you, gentlemen.
All right, now we move on to JC. Floor.
Well, I hate that you have to deal with so much of that, but I'm glad you're there.
Thank you very much. So,
We hope that that's gonna keep some of them out of the other city.
Yeah.
yes, that's the goal.
That's the goal.
For the long term, it's a benefit to all taxpayers.
Okay, so I didn't bring my paper form.
Don,
Yes, you said it too. Were you with me? Or we doing it all at the same time?
I'm with you.
Okay.
He's our president.
Oh, I'm not either. I'm not either.
He's a union boss.
I'm trying to pull up what I sent it in.
It's on the screen. Yeah, we got it.
Well, hey, looky there. That's a lot easier. I can see that. I was trying to find my email. Yes, thank you. Okay. All right, y'all want to start at the top or bottom or nothing? The bottom really hadn't changed a lot.
Okay, just,
So the office supplies, did not ask for any difference. Postage, the same. Contract services, that's a weird. It's really I don't really understand contract services. That's actually money that we pay the Omni system. But it's based on how much money we collect. I mean, like they get $15 out of every ticket. And so that comes out of that right there. And so if the higher that number is, means the more money we collect. It's a good thing. I'm not exactly for sure why I went up unless I was looking and thinking that we were going to flush more next year than this year. So we've seen that for the last 5 years, we've seen a huge downplay of tickets in JP courts because one thing is DPS have been at the border. Those guys have been gone, or they've been at Austin. But I say in the last 6 months, Judge, would you agree?
Plus they brought new deputy 4 or 5 minutes.
There's gonna be 11 of them in the county. We just talked.
Yes.
right. He was earlier this morning.
Okay, we already heard it. Okay. So we are already seeing a lot more citations already. And so I feel like that our incomes will go up, and when they go up, we're going to collect some of these Omni cases, and that's the reason that the thing about that number right there is you can leave it wherever you want, but if we collect it, we got to pay on it. So we might budget 500 and spend 1,500. That's a good thing if we do, because we collected more money than we thought. Anyway, so that's that number right there. The training, I did ask to go back up, but I'd asked for 2,000 last year, and then I reduced it when we corrected our budgets. And so I just went back to the number that I really need to be able to send my clerks and myself to training. Travel, I left the same because I'm good on my travel. subscription and dues that we gotta have that just to be part of our Texas Justice Court Training Center and our couple of our organizations that we have to be part of. I put the bonding in because this is an election year and I'll have to get a bond next year. I don't know if 500 is the right number or I don't remember what.
500.
Oh, okay.
I'll get with Christine.
Well, y'all figure that out. You can put whatever number you want in there that will get my bond. That's all that's for. And then everything else is about the same. So there's not a lot of changes on the bottom. If you want to go to the salaries, I'm asking to recertify my chief clerk. I'll just make a note that's been there 29 years. To court administrator and pay her at the rate that that position gets paid.
All four is gonna ask for that.
Yes, I think all JPs are gonna ask for the same thing. And then extra help, which is my part-time, which is absolutely mandatory. That part, I don't need another full-time, but I've got to have the part-time. And I have a really good one that does a good job. And so I'm asking her to go to 1750, which not a lot, not too big a raise, but, and other than that.
Are you asking for more hours? How many hours you currently use?
I'm not asking for more hours. I just want to pay her higher rate per hour. I'm not asking more hours. I think we, 1080, 1080. Well,
20 a week.
we don't, 20 a week. Yeah.
Sometimes it's not.
Yeah. But y'all can look at mine and I never use that. I don't do it 20 hours a week. I don't do that. I have them work, whenever my clerk is gone and 2 days a week. And that always leaves slack. I never use the whole budget. And so I don't really need any, my personal office doesn't need any more hours. I just want to pay her a decent rate. And are we 16?
16 and
Yeah, it's not really a huge amount. It's not a huge raise. Yeah, something like that, or 16, 18 or something, yeah. So, okay, so that's what that's about. So I'm not asking for more hours. I mean, we budget, I mean, if I do 1,000, you say 1,040?
80,040.
Right. So 1,040 times the number there would be if I use every hour, but I don't use every hour. I use them when we need her. She always comes in when we need her, but she's okay if it's just 2 days a week. So, and then other than that,
It's our preference that we treat every JP court personnel the same.
That's up to you guys.
If we go up with one, we would go up with everybody.
Yeah, and that's fine. I mean, and that's great. If I really got to argue, I would argue that longevity should be considered, but I understand that we pay them all the same. But I still.
We tried that, what?
I know.
4 years ago.
Well, it's just really tough that I've got a clerk been there 29 years, and you could hire one tomorrow that didn't know anything and make the same rate.
I agree with that.
That's my problem. But if you guys have got to figure it out, I don't know how to do it.
You don't have to hire that way.
I understand. I could hire them a little lower, but I might have to hire them that to get them. But I might have to pay on that rate just to get somebody hired that can do the job.
underneath max rate, then they're gonna say.
Demonstrate their competence.
Yeah.
So.
Or
Hold on, all right, hold on. So like and I'm getting to get off in the woods here. So when we did that salary survey, we talked about this. We talked about longevity pay. And it was just a nightmare. But you're saying that Tina's been there, we say 20 however long, and she's making X amount, and say he wants another one to do the same exact job. We can set her.
Below, you can go below the budgeted salary, you cannot go above it.
But I think the judge's comment is true, that less than that, you may have to, also provide them a cot, in the attic.
Yeah.
And I think that's the problem we got to. If you go less, you can't
find nobody. Yeah, that's the part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never get anybody else trying to.
Well, we have somewhat overcome that because our starting salary was way below the
Yeah.
market rate.
Yeah, we adjusted to it because we wanted the longevity, but it was just, it was a nightmare.
Yeah, but it's. I understand hiring them in and trying to keep them, but then at the same time, it discourages people that have been here a long time and been through some tough seasons.
Yeah.
When you bring somebody and say, oh yeah, and one that's been here 29 years probably knows as much or more than the judge does. I mean, like.
I could testify to that.
They just know a whole lot of things that you don't know, and then you bring somebody fresh off the street that you're training and say, yeah, she's worth what you're worth.
Do you realize that if I lost my clerk, if I lose my clerk, I have to hire another one. It'll take me, my career will end before I get that one trained. I mean,
If she's trained all of my folks.
yeah.
But we do have the freedom to bring one in lower than that, and that
Right.
is.
If you can, I mean, I agree with that if you can find somebody to work.
Yeah, I guess y'all three were on the court when we talked about it, but we had some deep discussions about it for a lot of days.
We did a salary survey from, for the last 12 years. When Brad and I came on, I did, and, found that, of the prior 12 years, 9 of the years, there was no raise given whatsoever. 2 of the years, there was a pay cut. And 1 year, there was a pay increase out of 12 years.
And they got their days.
And, that accumulates all those, everybody else is getting a 50% increase. Each year, so that the market rates were going up, and that's where we tried to adjust,
Speaking of that,
catch up on those 12 years.
Speaking of that, when they did the cutbacks, well, y'all ever thought about this since? But they cut the retirees' insurance. Where the retirees could maintain insurance to pay themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They cut that out when they cut those salaries back. So when you guys retiring, you're not gonna have insurance unless they get put back in. And that, it don't cost the county, they pay it.
Well, it gets calculated into
The amount of numbers, that's
right. It does.
And it into the finance.
Yeah. Right.
So,
But anyway,
one other argument on that salary, so we are seeing a big increase of tickets. I think we'll see more this coming year. But the other thing is that our school keeps talking about is, our jurisdiction limit right now is 20,000. And last legislature, there was a big push to go to 30. But I'm hearing now that they might even skip 30 and go to 50,000. Well, if that happens, you guys know that.
Okay, explain what jurisdiction of 20,000.
So, okay, so any case that's filed in JP court other than eviction, we have sole jurisdiction. You got to file it there no matter what the amount. But other cases have to be under $20,000 damages. All right, we can, otherwise it's not in our jurisdiction. It has to be filed in a higher court. And so 20,000 is our limit right now. And so any case that comes to us, has to be under 20,000 or we don't have jurisdiction to hear it. But if they change that number to 30 or 50, that's going to increase a lot of cases. 30, be honest with you, because of what everything costs this day and time, 30 might not change it that much. 50 will like double our workload.
Why do you think they're doing that? Why do you think are they?
Because everything's so expensive. We're trying to keep it out of the higher court. So
burst it out.
Yeah. So well, what happened is when I started at JP, the jurisdiction was 5,000. All right. Well, you could probably buy a used car for 10,000. And so if you got an argument about that car, it might fall in that range. But now $5,000, there wouldn't be any cars. At 20,000, very few vehicles fall under our jurisdiction. So mainly.
They can see it, your report and go straight into.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
They can, yeah.
Straight into mine.
They can do that, but the filing fee is a lot more. Ours is $54, and so a lot of them want to come there first.
Who sets that fee?
That's the state. That's the state fee. So we collect 54, and then we serve, and then we hear the case. But right now, so mainly most of our cases are small claims and debt claim cases, so credit cards. And we deal with attorneys, but a lot of our cases are pro se defendants Because, you know, if a attorney's retainer fee is $7,500 and you're fighting over 10,000, it ain't worth it. You know, they just skip it and move on up. But so that jurisdictional limit does really change our civil workload. And we get, I don't know, I mean, it's on OC, I didn't look it up, but I mean, we're getting 10, 20 cases a week probably right now. And those cases have to be, you know, letters go out to both sides. They have to be, you know, set for court. I mean, we have default judgments coming in. I mean, it's a lot of work on the clerks. Each case is a lot of work. And so anyway, just something to consider. I guess we won't know that until the next legislative session, but they're going to move us up. I mean, they've been talking about it. It's coming. I don't know what the amount will be, but it's coming.
So who in the legislature is doing that so that we can get involved?
I do not know who's pushing.
Okay.
Our school, Texas Justice Court Training Center, usually fights against some of that stuff, but it's kind of hard to fight when it makes sense. You know,
30 the next one, or
yeah.
It's going to be 50. It's going to be 50, and attorneys like to go to JP courts because you don't have discovery. You can move these cases through faster in a lot of cases. Now you can ask for discovery, and that's up to y'all's determination. But yeah, and there are attorneys that say, you know, I don't like this particular JP because they XYZ, or they don't know the law, or they don't follow. You know, but you always have, as an attorney, you have the ability to appeal that. Whatever if you start there and you don't like what you get, you can still appeal it up to the county court at law.
But the thing is, think of how many cases that's keeping out of the county court of law, because we're handling. I mean, so I don't know my ratio on appeals, but I don't have any appeals. You know, I mean, I try to get them right. I mean, but sometimes they're going to appeal. But it doesn't matter.
Evictions are not counted in that number, though. The evictions.
No, evictions are going to be filed there anyway. So what happens is an eviction is if the money amount you're fighting over is over 20,000. You file the eviction in JP court, and you file the money amount in the higher court that has jurisdiction. So them are rare, but on a commercial application or something like that, it could easily be two different courts here. So anyway, it's just the clerks really do a lot, guys. And I'm telling you, I'm scared to death. I know mine is going to retire someday, and I don't know what I want to. I mean, I'm gonna have to relearn some of this stuff so I can teach somebody else, because she handles a lot of it. But anyway, so that's coming. I don't know. We won't know. I mean, it's, of course, unfortunately, the budget will be over with before we know that's going to happen.
Oh yeah, and we've talked about that a lot already this week. That there's going to be a jurisdictional change.
Yeah,
in that.
Good. Yeah.
When the constables were here and talked about additional paper they'd have to serve.
That is true.
But you got to use your additional part-time hours to get that clerk trained for potentially taking over.
Well,
yeah, that's what I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead. But like my part-times never want us to take over. I mean, she's like, it's not going to be a step. Most of the time our part-times are not, it's not like a stepping stone from part-time to full-time. Most of them don't want to be full-time, because they wanted to be full-time. We don't pay nowhere near enough to hold them at part-time, you know? So most of the time we get people that want to be part-time. So it's never going to be a stepping stone. It does help. The more they're trained will help.
Right.
Somebody else come in. But you know, it's going to be starting fresh. Yep. Go ahead.
Anything else? You got anything?
So I was just gonna say on the part-time that we've run over the 4 hours sometimes because, you know, we get caught and they can't. So, or it's my opinion, you know, it'd be nice if it was 6 or whatever, but we don't. You know, if we use that fan, if we don't, you know, fine, don't go forward. But what happens when we run over that? Because they have to work.
So that was my question is, because of the increase in the traffic tickets and things you have to do we need to up the part-time hours?
That's what, in my opinion. And if you don't use it.
Yeah. See, I'm just different than him. I keep mine. I mean, I don't use mine for that reason. That way I know I've got hours at the end. There's something, you know, my clerk got sick or something, I need to work a week or whatever. I don't do that. But his part-time might not work for him if you don't get that number out. I don't know. But mine luckily is flexible enough that I tell them, hey,
there's hardly a time when either the phone's not ringing or somebody's not in front desk. So they never get break from it.
That might be because you're too nice, you know, maybe you'll just lower the hammer on them.
I did that time or two.
That's, yeah. I've learned to get so mean now I'll go to him. That's my plan. Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the evictions have to be heard precinct.
Yeah.
But anything else they can go, and what some of the traffic, you know, but
Yeah, no, he can, well, everything can go anywhere you want, but they,
But
it's fine with me, they can all go to somewhere else.
we've had, I think I showed you, I looked at, well, you hear, man, both of us was around 100,000 already this year just on citations,
Yeah,
the income
yes.
from the guys and that. What they have.
And I'll tell you, I learned something that from Judge Shin, I had talked earlier about maybe having a volunteer from the community go out and issue, this is state law allowed, can go out and issue citations to people who park in handicapped spots. But then Judge Shin said, yeah, but we have to throw the majority of those handicap violations out because the state law requires certain signage and certain painting on the ground in order for those handicap spots to be legal. And if the handicap spot is not legal with the signage and the ground markings, then he has to, and as I went around all over the county.
Can you find any of them that are right?
I haven't found any that are correct.
I know.
None of them, none of the handicap spots in the county comply with state law.
What about here?
And whoever filed it.
I wasn't gonna say.
Been in with the citation.
So I can park in one?
You can park in one, I guess. I don't know.
Bobby doesn't park.
Even though he quite clearly.
Park in those.
In the handicap,
Right.
I deserve it, but.
I know.
That's what we're talking. No, they don't. That's not painted on the street. You gotta have it painted on the street and you have to have the violation.
So many
The
feet
small, yeah. And they have to have the violation $50 to $200, for, and in addition to the sign, you can't just put up handicap.
And here's the problem.
It has to be so high. too,
Yeah,
though.
and it's not as simple as you think, so that's not just a matter of me dropping a case, I don't never drop a case. Like, that means that the defendant, the individual writes them a ticket, then they file it with our court then waits on them to enter a plea, my clerks have to take the plea from them. We take the plea, if they plead not guilty, we set it for pretrials, then they come out and they visit with the district attorney, assistant district attorney. Both sides decide if they want to go to trial, or the district attorney can decide at that point, it's not a good case, I'm going to dismiss it. And then it's presented to me for either a dismissal or we set it for trial. And so it's not just like all that just.
All that work
for nothing.
and if they, yeah. So,
You gotta be careful,
all of the vendors out there, all the people who have handicap signage need to make sure that the signage complies and that the ground markings comply with state law in order to make these things stick. And then,
Especially now.
And like on my precinct, a lot of the parking lots are white rock, so.
it's going to be tough
Tough to mark that.
tough to market.
Got it tough. So anyway,
How many trials do you have typically?
like,
During a year?
so jury trials, probably only maybe 1 or 2 days. Now, when I set a jury trial, this is what I do though. So if we have a jury trial set, I set about 4 or 5 because some are going to settle, some are not going to show up. And I don't want to call in 20, 25 people to go to jury trial and then they all settle, but now they've been a day off work, they waste their time. And so we bring them in, and of course, a lot of times they come from all over the county because we use one jury pool. So they're coming from Wills Point and everywhere else, and they sit in. And the way I do my juries is I'll set all 4, I'll have them all come at the same time. We'll actually do board ire on all cases. And then I'll tell them, okay, well, this trial is going to go at 10 o'clock, this one at 11 o'clock. And that way, if they don't get picked on a jury, they can leave. I don't keep people tied up all day. And so probably only twice, but that's usually because the district attorney, the assistant DA gets a chance to work out cases. Now, we probably have 25 or 30 that wants to ask for a trial. But by the time they go to pre-trials and they think about it, and they talk about it, and they might decide that, the assistant DA might say, well, instead of going to trial, I'll offer you deferred and pay a $10 fine or whatever. Whatever they agree to. And then they'll present it to me. And of course, I'm going to sign it so fast, it'll make the pen smoke because jury trials are, awful. So, yes. And so we only have a couple a year, but there's a lot that kind of works down to that. There's a lot that want it. Now, bench trials, probably about twice that many on bench trials as far as criminal cases. Now, we probably hear several evictions a week most of the time. And then debt claim cases, I don't hear them 1 or 2. So we we might set 30 in a day. And that way, because what happened on debt claims is a lot of them cases are picked up by like one attorney. He might go onto a server and say, you know, hey, there's a trial in JP4 at this time. Because these credit companies are all over the country, you know. And so they'll show up, they might have 20 of the same company that they hear. So we set them all at the same time, and that way, so I probably only have 2 or 3 days a month of those, but I might have 30 trials at a time. But most of them are pretty fast. And so,
Defaults.
yeah, but if you spread them out, you'd be doing trials every day at JP Court. I mean, we have a lot of cases. I just have learned how to do my docket where it doesn't tie me up all the time.
Then we learn from them.
I'm trying to teach him, but
Basically.
4 years in, and I don't know. I'm just kidding.
I still call him all that.
He helps me all the time too, so we got a good relationship. Yes.
Well, we did have the DPS here and ask them about citations, and the citations go to the precinct in which the citation is written.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they do, but they don't have to do that.
There is an option to.
Yeah.
The precinct you live in, but it has to be some.
Yeah.
Bunch of red tape to do it. Most people don't.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for your time.
Hey, the next 2 months of y'all get paid for. So have fun.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
what it was. That's what it is.
Yes, I do. We have one of those. We won't bring, get your opinion on.
Well, I don't have numbers, but so I3 Verticals, which is the software that we use, they offer it's called iTicket, where the DPS's tickets automatically download into our system. But when they first came out with this years ago, it was very expensive, and I never asked for it because I thought it was too high. But now it's very reasonable, but I don't have the price.
$12.50.
$12.50 per court
For all of us.
Oh, yes.
For all of us.
Protection Club.
You can budget one office with it, but it covers
Send the info
everybody.
to Scott.
You want now?
Send the info to Scott's like, it
Anything.
goes into the IT budget.
That would go to IT budget?
Yes, it goes
Okay.
into the IT budget.
Has he had his hearing yet?
Yeah.
Yes, but
Yeah.
but his is fluid. I mean,
Okay.
it's all dependent on what other
Yeah.
departments do and what the commissioner's court decides.
Well, so that would be our, yeah, and then the other part of the cost is, it's so much per citation, so like, the defendant would pay $1 or whatever more, $2.
I see.
So, but the initial setup, it used to be like 10,000 per court, that's why I didn't ask for it, but I didn't know it was down to 1250.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna talk to Scott Spaney.
They
In
just,
fact, we get, now they've mailed the citations. We'll get 20, 30 calls a week that we don't even have the tickets on. Some of the people ain't gonna call back. We had this. I think we collect a lot more money for this. Cause they need to be collected.
So where do the tickets go to get entered into the system?
DPS mails them to each one of the offices.
Okay,
Here, this is connected into DPS
okay,
and it would automatically put them on our system.
that would be much
It's
more,
great.
much more efficient.
Yeah.
So we could cut back on your part-time help.
No.
yeah, now that's some.
Don't go there.
Decent there. There we go.
Jennifer,
There we
the
go.
other,
They're still gonna call.
Yeah. There's a dollar per ticket. I think you guys have to vote on, so we'll have to bring that to you to implement that on our fees. And that'll pay for anything. But I'm gonna get with Scott, because I didn't get up on this enough, but we need this now. At that price, it's worth it. Definitely worth it.
We'll list it on the ticket as the convenience fee.
We already got that. We gotta call something else. We already got the 5% convenience fee already.
Inconvenience.
It will pay for itself.
No, we already got that. Try something else.
But I'm just here to support him.
No, that's a good.
The girls do need that.
Yes,
Right.
I forgot. I should have put that on my budget, but if it goes to IT, I'll talk to him.
Right. He would handle stuff that goes to all 4 precincts.
Yeah.
That we do. Because we do the I3 verticals and stuff goes through.
Okay, all right, so we'll talk about that, because at that fee there, it's a no-brainer. It will save our a lot of mistakes. Yeah.
Not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just good. I just know that there's a bunch of calls when they get the ticket.
Yes.
And if we don't have an answer for them, you never hear from them again.
That's true.
So it may be till they get ready to get the driver's license before we collect 4 years down the road.
I can speak into this a little bit, gentlemen. It can take, on average, somewhere between 30 to 45 days to get the ticket from DPS from the time that it was issued into the JP court. Sometimes it's a little bit faster, sometimes it's a little bit slower. And that's if USPS delivers them, because there have been batches of tickets that have been lost. And so then you have to reach out to Monica and ask for copies of the citations to be sent. Do you have people that get a ticket on a Friday morning and they're calling Friday afternoon wanting to go ahead and take care of that ticket? And we have to call us back and average about 4 to 6 weeks. And they're like, what? And then Judge Ashlock is correct. It goes off and it's off their plate and it'll go to pre-warrant or to collection, and then they're upset because the time frame between that and this I-ticket that they're talking, the zero for youth diversion, zero, because my ticket's not going to the system. But it integrates it. It's on, all it is an upload, so it doesn't take away the part-time girls. She still has to handle the ticket, but it reduces the time between the issue and it's received in the court and the operator error of entering. And the number of tickets that the clerks are seeing and the officers are seeing, or the judges are seeing, where people do not have a driver's license, they only have a consular card or a foreign entity license, and those are required to put in, and the system will upload those automatically.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna get.
Sounds like a done deal.
Yeah, we need.
We need to get rolling this fiscal year. We'll figure out, you know.
Appreciate that.
So we don't have to wait, we can go ahead and try to.
Well, I'll give it Scott. We'll
See if we
figure
have
out where we can find the money to go ahead and get it started. It'll be a percentage.
Yeah, that'd be great.
That's why, so I had a friend that got a ticket the other day and they couldn't find any record of it.
Yep, that's what happens.
And he went up there 4 times.
Yep.
And then they said, well, I guess they dropped it, maybe, I don't know. But he said they were trying to charge him $10. I mean, he was very irritated.
Well, that would have to be, $10 would be a part of dismissal, like if he had an expired license plate or something, got it fixed, it'd be $10 dismissal fee. So
He's very frustrated with the whole
Well,
process. He said,
and
y'all
that's
owe me $10, have him come up there 4 times.
That's right, and that's the thing, it's a $10 ticket, all it was is he has to just get his car, his license plate fixed or something. And they call 4 times and wait 2 or 3 weeks, 4 weeks, sometimes 6 weeks, when they were willing to take care of it the first day.
They're mad at us, you know.
Yeah.
Right, and we don't.
It's an inconvenience for him. Like,
That's right.
It's probably cost him a whole lot more money.
The drive.
Yeah, just to have stopped at whatever he was doing to come up there and try.
Well, this should prevent that from DPS tickets. Now, the sheriff department tickets still won't.
Well, I vote for that. More MIT.
Well, for that, yeah. I mean,
So we get the sheriff's department ticket, we just pick it.
Are they doing the same way? They mailing them to you
No, we pick them.
in your office?
Yeah, he probably gonna get, I sometimes don't get
Is
them.
there an
until I go
option
in.
for IP verticals to upload the sheriff's department?
Southern software does not play with i3 verticals.
Okay.
They won't do an API integration between those two.
So we can't do that.
The new sheriff software has helped us though with the state report.
Mm-hmm.
We've in the past had to do the whole thing ourselves. It took forever. Their new program now, they can put the first page on, and all we do is have to add the bonds to it now. So we would have to go back to the officer,
I do mine before I put them in,
He'd
but
sit there and do them when he put them in, but.
that's the ESRS bell system.
Yeah.
So they don't need the part-time?
Yes, it is. We got this meeting's been over with.
Yeah.
All right.
Now they don't get their part-time.
Now I can have time to train my part-time.
Yeah. That's the other thing, I mean, this year I'm gonna send my part-time, I look my training a little. Cause last year we ran out of money because we cut it trying to get budget, and then 2 of us went, but my third one didn't even get to go, so I put that back in there. So all 3 of us can go to our training.
Is somebody after us?
No.
We're done.
Okay. I got a question.
You're
I got a question for you.
you're holding us up from lunch.
Okay, well, one question. Y'all can go. I just got to have a question. Okay.
All right, 11:45.
Oh. Going Burger King?
No, great.
Oh,
You are not on this. You won't go.
Where our barbecue joint go?
Yeah, we're good to go.
They closed down.
We went somewhere though, didn't we?
We're pretty good, Gavin. Thank you. Let's go, Miles.
And just that question earlier, they moved me all about it. Yes. Excuse me.
Well, it's been a long time calling. It was the phone. Still on West Coast. That's why.